Welcome back to another episode of MUT Up or Shut Up. This week, we finally go into solo battle stat, taking on some actual opponents to get some actual rewards. Well, not a lot better than solo challenges because you get some great untradables out of those and some guys that are making a big impact on our team. But we got a chance to get some great players that are also tradable. That's the big thing with the solo battles. That's what can really improve this team to a significant level, is if we start getting some real good rewards out of those free packs. Because yeah, we could buy packs with coins, but probably never going to do that because it's not worth it. There are, there's some little things here or there that kind of can be seen as worth it, but you still got to be lucky, and it's just better to keep your coins to buy players if you want them. So in this episode, we do take on solo battles, but there's definitely an asterisk next to that because we don't end up taking on too many solo battles. Really, it's just we get our feet wet in this episode. We kind of figure out what we can and can't do in solo battles. It's a good thing learning wise for me, but it's not a great thing for this episode. But we get to see, what kind of rewards you can expect when you don't do very well solo battles. Not from winning games, but from just, not having the time or missing out on games, stuff like that, which can happen to everybody. Shouldn't happen to me because I should be able to make the time. But anyway, enough of the pre-rambling. You just want to get into it and see what I ended up doing in solo battles, I assume. So let's just get straight into it and take a look at it. We're finally taking on solo battles, but because this is our first run through, the first game we played, I played on, well, whatever the third hardest difficulty is, or the third hardest difficulty. Then, these 3 games I played on the second hardest difficulty. We're not at a stage yet, I don't think, where we can play Ultimate. I don't think, I've tried it once before and the team just wasn't there. And even in some of these games, the receivers are, slower than every single one of the cornerbacks, which isn't, the end of the world, but it doesn't help. Although I do feel like I've found a bit of a way to get around that just from getting good matchups and stuff. It's not the most creative way, it's not the most exciting way, but at the end of the day, it's just about winning the games, getting the points, stuff like that. Defense, I need to work on. I just need to get better on defense. But as you can see, I got through it easily enough at those difficulties. Now, I do think it's going to be too much of a step up, but at the same time, I'm looking at the rank, and right now, we're bronze. And I don't see us doing much better than bronze. Well, I don't see us getting much higher. At the end of the day, the end goal really is top 100, but I feel like when people start to, build up there's going to obviously be more than 100 people that build absolutely ridiculously expensive teams of the best player in every position. And of course, they're going to have these spots locked down. But Ultimate is definitely somewhere I want to be. And that should be, possible enough just by playing on the hardest difficulty and completing every single game. Now, we will need better players for that. And we will start to get better players, of course, as we start to get rewards from these battles. And even if the players aren't that good, selling them, getting the coins, blah, 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 we'll be able to upgrade this team a lot now that we started doing solo battles. Haven't touched the featured opponent yet. But the point is that we're now on the right track. We can start moving in the right direction, and we'll take a quick look at the lineup. Obviously, this hasn't changed from the last time, but I'll tell you where the problems are. Now, there's no problems with Brandon Cooks and DJ Moore, but the fact that I'm coming up against, DJ Moore's got 88 speed, and so has Brandon Cooks, and I'm coming up against teams where they're not faster than the cornerbacks, and sometimes they're slower than the cornerbacks, and these are just the simple teams that are 81, 82 overalls. Obviously, running back's not good enough there either, and our backup receivers aren't. Had a great time with Zach Ertz. He really is churning out a whole bunch of yards because that's where we're getting the mismatch. That's where we're getting him free against zone coverages, stuff like that. And it's working out well with him. The line needs to be better. We're still getting too much pressure, and the defense managed to figure out a way to start, taking over with Deion Jones and Miles Jack because they're mostly on the field as the sub-package guys because I play a lot of nickel. Started to figure out a way of using them. A couple of user picks now, maybe 1 or 2, I think, and that's obviously helping against them. But it's still the case of Jair Alexander is huge for us. You come up against Tyreek Hill, and that guy will burn most of your players, but he's only 2 better than Jair Alexander. So his speed. So that's obviously big. Still need to get much better with the cornerbacks. Brent Grimes. The fact he's not tradable is the only reason he's on this team still, because otherwise we'd have sold him for whatever he's worth, but he's just too slow. We need faster cornerbacks, pressure's okay, we're not doing too bad there, and obviously our safeties. I mean, Trey Boston I've actually had no problems with. Terrence Brooks isn't good enough, and that's what I've seen now. I think once we've upgraded those, we can really start considering taking on the hardest difficulty. Now, I don't want to be too afraid of taking on the most difficult one and not doing it when actually it's now possible, so I will, when these, well, let's go back. I just saw there were 2 back options for some reason, but once these get reset, so 40 hours, I will take a look at getting whatever the weakest team is, so like this one was this time, I'll play that against the hardest difficulty. I actually played the weakest team this time against the easiest difficulty I played all the games in. That's just because I was trying to find that spot. That was a relatively really easy game. I made some stupid decisions, that's why they ended up scoring 13 points, but I noticed that's too easy, that difficulty, especially because it's still at a point where you can block most kicks, and then even if you're really bad on defense, you can probably still win just by blocking 1 or 2 kicks and scoring as many points as them. Now here, as you can see, this was the last game I played, and this one obviously went much better for me, won 28-0 than that one, despite, you know, the easier teams being a bit closer here. So that one, I really started to figure things out, you know, with the offense and stuff. So it's really going to be possible to start winning a lot of games. So I'm not trying to spin this in any positive way. Fact is, I just didn't do everything that I could have done, and that's completely my fault. And I did it in a week where it was only 2 sets of games, so I really messed up. But however, we can say this is a look at if you just managed to play 1 set of the games and not even the challenge, because I'm a complete idiot, this is what you can get. So what we get from it are 10,000 coins. Not bad going, to be fair, as a quick sell, so we'll get rid of those straight away. Taking our total over 400,000, which I'm pretty happy about. We get a Hail Mary pack and a 2x trophy pack, so we'll get these out of the way first. And of course, well, it's trophies, nothing really there surprising. Nothing. I press next instead of next pack. So now let's take a look at the Hail Mary pack. I don't actually know exactly what comes in all of these, so it could actually be something good. It's more likely to be nothing good. We get Chris Wormley, who may actually make it into the team. Not sure about that. Jalen Watkins has got a chance as well. He's silver and another silver, so absolutely terrible, apart from the fact that Jalen Watkins actually has a chance against... No, he doesn't, because it's 76 overall, and he's... Well, yeah, Terrence Brooks. Terrence Brooks is just the best player we have right now. It's just he's not that great. However, Chris Wormley could come in against one of our players just because he'll have more speed than Pecco, who's our number 2 right now. Because Pecco's just so slow with 49. But then not really close anywhere else. So no, absolutely wastes of packs essentially. But in the next one, we're going to be taking on as many as we can. I will make sure to stay on top of it, that I won't just, you know, do the same thing again and only end up getting one opponent out of the way. What we did learn is if you only manage to get one whole, you know, opponent out of the way, or one set of opponents, you get nothing. What I will also do is I'll take on this team, take on this team, take on this team, probably the normal difficulty. What I'll do is the first game, however, is we're going to take on this 75 rated team, and let's take a look at what it looks like. We're going to take this one on the most difficult difficulty. They've got a powered up Michael, well, they don't have a powered up Michael Vick, they've got power up Michael Vick, and look, I'm seeing guys that aren't that fast. Brandon Cooks is fast, but okay, Randy Moss also not, but that card's not that fast. A lot of power up guys. If we're going to be able to beat any team on Elite, this is going to be the one. So we'll take this one on. This will be, you know, our benchmark. If we can beat these guys, we might be able to say, well, we can beat some of these guys. If we can't beat these guys, we can't beat anybody on the most difficult difficulty, and we can forget about getting into, you know, better ranks than what were we on? We were on bronze. So what I want to do in every episode is to take a look at the team value. Now, it didn't change in this episode. We didn't add anybody. However, it's gone up to 344,000 coins. The value of the team, without changing any players, has gone up by 40,000 coins. Now, I need to find out who is worth that much. I'm hoping it's one of our tradable players, because for the team to go up 40,000 coins, despite it being now since 2 weeks, it's gone up almost 50,000 coins. I need to find out who is raising the value of this team, because I check it every time. You know, I've just got it in there. Our non-tradables count towards the value, because it's value, it's not, you know, what we actually have. We're at 700,000 coins right now, 740,000 coins, and we've never paid them anything. We're almost at 1 million. We're on the road to 1 million, and that's pretty cool. Hopefully next week we'll have over 1 million coins in value, and I'll be pretty happy with that, because, you know, over the years I've tried things, I've given Madden plenty of money, and they're not getting any of me this year, and right now it's working out for me.